how to play it. If you're at this sort of level of the game, you've probably been playing for at least 7 or 8 years now, either from a very young age or just most of your adult life. And so you'll be pretty familiar with Dust 2, I think it is safe to say. All the same, Nepal, it's tough. It's tough. You feel like they should have been able to clean that one up. It was a little difficult. You had, Koof coming in and finding himself a pretty nice find with the lurk that they just weren't really expecting. Didn't double check long after it had been contested, as it were, in the early stages. But we are once again back towards long here and looking to pour salt in the wound, really. Yeah, Nepal trying to match up. Can't quite do it with the weaponry that they were on. Nice little smoke to slow them down for the time being, but indeed, emphasis on the time being. It's not going to keep them there forever. Nice find as well. Savvy to the fact that somebody's looking for a run out. That will seal the deal for my money. And should be Sri Lanka taking the lead here.
Yeah, this is working out extremely well for them at the moment. Hard to really criticize too much. They're also being helped out by the fact that, again, Nepal's economy, it chose earlier not to save some of the rifles, and it makes them a little bit less dangerous in some of these rounds. So just Son left. 1 versus 5, and best you could do now is probably try and upgrade that MP9 into an AK if you can find a lonely kill towards the end. But generally speaking, this is Sri Lanka going to be taking over the game a little bit here.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way, man. Definitely feels that way. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Eliminating all the players as well. Full save from them. Plenty of money being made. This could get a bit scary. Nepal have got, like, no money to work with as well. No real loss bonus built up. So you're going to have the next round be a rifle. They'll buy into that. If they lose that one, they're still not going to have much money. You know what I mean? So they have to be really savvy with the saves here. Have to know when to call a round off. And Sri Lanka on the precipice of taking the victory in the half quite quickly here if they really play this one correctly. A nice little read from Woody, of course, with the early nade out. It's big damage. So these USPs could be a bit scary at range. Just keep your eye on them.
Round number 8. And, all right, it's a decent grenade up on top. That's actually quite a bit of damage with the P250, more than I was expecting. Can he find a little bit more? It could be an interesting round all of a sudden. You can see they're quite tanked up on the T side, and they continue to drop a little bit low, but now they're getting the kills. So I think the real danger has kind of been averted here. Dealer X coming up, and Son will get one more shot in, but it should still be fine here. Yeah, they're going to be able to clean it out. There was a chance. I think there was a way that could have been more interesting, but Sri Lanka, they're going to win the round, and that's a 5-3 lead now. So they're edging ahead a little bit, and also Nepal, they can buy in this round, but it's really not that much of an impressive buy. They're a little bit behind.
No, yeah, it's true. It's true. I don't know, man. This is, again, getting really scary really quickly. So Nepal, we have to see something fresh and different from them. Maybe like a cat boost or something like this. You know, just really freshen it up and keep things interesting. That looks to be what they're going for as well, looking at the minimap. Of course, going to be no mid-presence from Sri Lanka. They keep it ultimately simple for themselves and keep out with this long control. But at least that is something for Nepal. They can get the short control, see there's nobody there, spot in towards middle, see there's nobody there, and then start these rotations coming in quite quickly. So long control for Sri Lanka. No kills off the back of it. So what are they going to do with this control now is sort of the big question. We've got Plasti moving in, trying to find this first frag cheekily around the smokes. Looking good. He's getting in quite deep. I think he might just be able to get the drop on at least one here. Flash comes over the top, and the trade is there nice and clean. Yeah, they just don't have information on him. He comes round for 2, in fact. And a solid look here. A bomb site fallen, round falling with it. And Sri Lanka, they've secured 6.
Oh, this is a real surprise. Again, we were mostly going off the results from Nepal earlier, but still, they are putting in a lot of great work. Going to be a 3-round lead for them. Dealer X trying to save the gun. Not even going to be possible. He actually did get the think onto Hellscream, but It won't save him. He's still going to go down. So 6-3 now, moving into round number 10. And again, the money's all over the place. Sri Lanka, they're absolutely running away from it. This could also be a little bit of a factor of them being on the T side. So they just... Their decision-making might be a little bit easier. You could see it. Then the strats aren't super elaborate. We're not talking about like throwing big fakes or doing anything like that. They kind of just decide on a bomb site and go for it. And they really don't turn around. And Nepal can't handle it. Not at the moment, anyway.
Yeah, kind of wild, man. Kind of wild. I think we were expecting Nepal to be pretty hot coming into this, but it just hasn't really looked to be the case. Ooh, however, round like this might be a difference maker. Man advantage. Thanks to a double kill in particular from the MP9. Real gets his hands onto an AK. He's also in quite deep. And there we go. Something a bit fresh from Nepal, as I was talking about. That's exactly what we want to see. You know what's changed in this round, though, Anders? They didn't go long. Okay, so that's the problem, really, is Sri Lanka have not gone long. And you see what happens? They just don't know how to play anywhere else on the map, it would seem.
Yeah, what a shame. Stick to the strategy. Stick to what's working. Don't try and be creative. I mean, in a way, this is such a bizarre factor of Counter-Strike, but in a way, if you go long, let's say like 3 or 4 times in a row, it actually becomes tactically viable to keep doing it because the other team is also going to be thinking they can't do it again. Like, surely they can't do it one more time, right? And you kind of get into a weird mind game. Nice shot from Dealer-X. That, and then they get back from the corner. They don't stick around and fight. All right, they've learned something here. So Plasty peeking right into it, and he will go down. So Nepal with a chance there, and they're finally waking up. It's good to see.
It's true. It is true. I mean, matching off and again keeping that competition coming, which ultimately in these international tournaments, that's what we are after. We want to see everybody looking good and representing well. Shakers, though, will take the frag. Unfortunately, the nade sees the better of him, and Joan catching Koof as well. A little bit of a shame that he's just not really able to get that trade in on time. So just a lurking presence in pit. There's a lot of low HP bars, so I think he could do some damage. I don't know about the round itself, though.
Yeah, that's going to be quite the stretch. Especially because they're not moving around that much. They're not really going to find him. That would be the real luxury for him at this stage, right? If they kind of come running at him, then he has a chance to sort of duel them one at a time. But I feel like they are being fairly respectful. Going to be moving forward to try and see if he can find that first corner. And Dealer-X actually couldn't have been in a better position here. Yeah, just as the flash comes around the corner. So good job. Nepal picking up another round, 5-6. And there's some money still in the bank here for Sri Lanka. They did win quite a few rounds in a row, so in that sense, they're going to be fine losing that last round.
Alrighty, let's see. I think that Sri Lanka, again, a little bit curious. I don't know that long necessarily stopped working for them. They've just sort of decided to change it up the past couple of rounds. It seems like we are going back to the tried and true method. However, they've got an AWP to get through. Pretty scary now. For sure, they've got to play this one correctly. Absolutely, he's backed up as well. So I quite like the setup from Nepal, and it's a good read from them as well to be like, okay, they've not gone long. It's not worked. Where are they going to go? Probably back to long. So let's make sure that we are cleanly prepared for that. Flash comes in, allows their AWP to set up. Ooh, it's a tag onto Dealer-X. He's lucky to be alive. The blood spurt kind of confused for a person for just a second, but no kills as yet.
No, not at the moment. Whew, there's the first one. Dealer-X does go down. I think it's be nice for Nepal if they can finish this last round with a win. So to tie up the game, don't end on like a crushing defeat, because they started off so nicely, but they let go of it just at the wrong time. Real will go down, and now they're trying to get through the smoke. The bomb's not even planted yet, so they're being fairly aggressive about it here. Kind of getting denied. There is a team kill in the middle of it, so obviously not what they were looking for on the T side, but now they are finally planting that bomb. Looked like they might have wanted to try and boost there, but now they just kind of sat out in the open. This is a scary position to be in. Nobody's at long. Sri Lanka, they're all on the A bomb side itself, so could a swing maybe finish the round here? There's going to be one of them. Oh, and they're fighting one at a time, but there we go. Son, only the one kill. It's tough to take the last one, and it will be Sri Lanka finishing the half at 7-5. I'm pretty impressed. I don't know what I was expecting, but they definitely played well.
Yeah, for sure. I think stepping up a little further than maybe we were expecting coming into it. I don't know. I feel 7-5 is kind of a nice half for both sides. You know what I mean? I think that T side at the moment does feel a little bit stronger on Dust 2. The way that Sri Lanka started, though, you maybe expect them to have done a bit better. And Nepal recovering things back. So I'm curious to see how it goes now, and curious to see the B side of the map as well, to be fair. With no action over here at all. We start the pistol off on that Nepalese side, barging on through here. Great flashes in to just give them that initial control. First kill goes their way. Dealer X not got the memo about slowing down. He's just keeping the action coming. Really, really happy to take these fights. Hell of a fade away from Hellscream, though. Still, the trades look good. The bomb goes down, and things have swung pretty heavily in favor of Nepal. The famously difficult B-bomb site. Can they mount this retake here? Not looking good. First head rolls. There is a kit available in the hands of Chrome and Z. He's working his way in slowly. They've definitely confirmed his location into the 1v1, and Woody just playing things safe, hiding away the whole time will indeed pay off for him. A little risky to just sort of bait his teammates out there, but he makes it work.
All right, that was it's a lot more scary there, but good job. And you're right, we didn't really get to see the B-bomb side at all in the first half, so we get a chance to now, and it works out for Nepal. We'll see if they can roll this into something more, though. Going to be not much resistance for Sri Lanka in this start of this round. They don't have that much to work with. Just some pistols that they managed to upgrade, but apart from that, it should be Nepal able to steal away the round here and maybe tie up the game. 7-7 if they can. Push up the top mid. I like this. I mean, again, it's a very slim chance you're going to do anything with it, but I just think it's more interesting than watching them wait around the inside of the A and the B-bomb site. So, yeah. Give us a little bit of action here.
Yeah, these types of rounds, I throwing it back a little bit to an old friend of mine, who you might know, Keith LaFortune, or Seaside. He used to go by, of course. He had a pretty good phrase for these ones, that any damage is good damage, and I think that that's kind of all it's about in these types of rounds. And kind of in order to do that, you maybe do have to get in their face and force the kills, get those P250s working. So even if it is just the one kill, you can be happy with that. You take a gun away, you make it cost them.
Yeah, it's worth it, Try and do something fun. Some fun for the stream as well. Good cleanup in this one. So the game is all tied up. And I don't know, it's hard to call who's going to win right now. I feel like it's kind of an open question for me.
Yeah, weighing it up, I think it is a bit difficult. I think I've maybe seen a little more variety out of Nepal, is the only thing that I would say. Sri Lanka maybe just got in at the right time, won a round at the right time, really ruined that CT economy for a good 3 or 4 rounds, it felt like. Pretty perfect pickup from them in the early stages. And it took Nepal a little bit of time to recover, let's say. But maybe this CT side has got something different to say. You're going to open up with a nice clean headshot above the smoke there. So I think that's a fair opener for them.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a good point too. That can really happen on the CT side sometimes when you just lose that economy and you're just getting it back is such a nightmare. Maybe that's what they were experiencing for a bit there, Nepal. Losing Woody, though. Not the best start to the round. And Sri Lanka can afford to, I think, play this more and more defensively. Now, once you get the opening, sometimes you want to take a risk at the start of the round if you're on the CT side, but once you actually do get the opening, you fall back, played more reasonably in that 4 versus 5. 30 seconds left. It's not a lot of time here. It's Real taking down one, but they line up for Blasty. That's a very, very nice shot. Comes back, hasn't really bothered the reload yet. Yeah, there we go. Might as well do it. And now it's a 2 versus 4, so everything looking good for Sri Lanka, although I say that just as Roman C does get himself killed. Same for Plasti, just like that. It's back into a 2 versus 1 now. oh no, Sri Lanka, they didn't even get a retake underway. It's Nepal to pick it up, and that's all the money gone. That's a bit rough to watch.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And those are the moments as well that are going to break you apart and just show where your level is at. The retake, numbers-wise, you've got it in the bag, but that's what can happen. You know, you allow them to isolate the fights. Pretty much nobody was working together there. Everybody was in a bit of a solo situation, working around headshot angles. Really, really hard to hit, but there weren't sort of buddy systems going on or waiting for good timing. You know, you guys go first because you're lower or you've got further to go. Really, really messy stuff there on the retake. Hooful managed to find one here, but he's the only one thus far. There is still Currency around the corner, but he's on that USP. Not really the scariest weapon, and he does eventually go down as well. So just a bit of spam, make sure that there's nobody pulling off any funny business. So Shakers in with the 5-7 might be able to find a head or two, but the round itself should be secure here. And that is looking to be the case as it's now spotted out, taken low and finished off. So Nepal picking up steam very quickly here, similar to the way they did towards the tail end of that first half.
Yeah, everything moving in the right direction. No complaints. 2-round lead. They've got them in a tight spot when it comes to the money. They're able to buy in this round, but again, you can tell the bank accounts are kind of empty behind this one. So if Nepal can do it again, then they take some heavy steps towards winning this series. Let's see where they go with it. Early smoke down towards the double doors from the T side just to make sure no AWPs are waiting on the other side there to catch them out. And see, Croman C would love... Oh, he spots it out, but he misses the shot. That should be a warning, but they're sticking around. Rial not really paying attention. He could probably hear that shot, but maybe he thought it was just a random one. But either way, second go around and he's dead.
Slow here in the mid-round. Very, very quiet indeed. Nepal just waiting for a mistake. I don't think that Sri Lanka will be making very many in the near future. Here comes the peak, however. Hellscream wins it out. Looking very, very good indeed now for Sri Lanka with that kill being secured. A cheeky sort of move as Nepal needed something to go their way. The gods not looking favorably upon them, however, in this round. And the kills keep coming in for that CT side.
They're looking better and better. And Nepal kind of getting slowed down way too much. That's the kind of the problem when you end up not really making any decision. You're kind of waiting. You're like, oh, okay, let's try again. And like at some point, this is what I think Sri Lanka kind of proved on the T side. It's better just make a call, go for it with great conviction on the entire team. Just power on through. And sometimes you can make a lot happen even if you don't have the man advantage there. But yeah, they did kind of get crushed a little bit there towards the middle and the catwalk. So unfortunate time, but not for the CT side here. Sri Lanka almost tying up the game once again. There's some money in the bank still for Nepal, so they're able to buy into this round. They can keep it competitive. Flashes out long. They want to replicate what Sri Lanka were doing on their T side, and they will get cuffed to begin with. And some counter smokes are coming out here. Oh, Croman C has a nice position in front of the smoke.
Yeah, pretty clean stuff from him. Looking quite confident the past couple of rounds. So we'll see whether he continues to have an impact in this one. Looks like they want to make moves. Oh, out on towards the A-bomb site. Rial been waiting a good 20 seconds there, though, for someone to walk into his crosshair. Is there a flash available here? Not going to be the case. Plasti just goes straight on in. One's not going to be enough. And so that might just be all she wrote for this one, to be honest with you, Anders. The double digits of Nepal within touching distance. Maybe. Nade could have made a difference. Unfortunately, not to be. So I think with the bomb going down, it should be a save move here, but they are giddy to give it a go. 1 for 1. Again, not going to be enough. All onto Shakers. He's not ready for the man in behind Car. Good timing from Shone. And there you have it. Nepal edging ever closer to the victory.
Okay, what a shame there for Sri Lanka. They're definitely an opportunity, but Croman C at the moment with 17. We've got Plasti and Cuff both at 13. So, I mean, those three are playing pretty well. Maybe a little bit further down for the last two. So, could need a little bit of backup there. Son on the other side with 19 kills. So we got a couple of players that are kind of standing out for the rest of them. Let's see how this plays out. It's 10-8 at the moment. It's a 2-round lead, but with the money as it is on the CT side, not a lot has to go wrong here for this to turn around. Oh, good shot. Real, you could see he was not ready for anyone to be in the pit just yet. The flashes are coming out, but there's nobody there to really use those flashbangs for anything.
Yeah, they're a bit stuck. They're a bit stuck here for sure. However, Sri Lanka not really wanting to stick around. I don't know. This is a really weird sort of situation out towards long. Maybe once the smoke goes down, it'll change. But Hellscream with the off angle gets an easy one. Plasty through the smoke. It's big. It's really, really big. Lovely little setup there. And Nepal just didn't know what to do against it. Really messy. Mach 10, all that remains, and down he will go. So flawless round from Sri Lanka to respond. Again, keeping the dreams alive here.
They definitely are. Not over until it's over. And with the money what it is on the Nepalese side, I mean, who knows? They don't have a lot to fight back with either, and that's going to be a problem for them. Technically, could buy like a Heroic and Woody, but I don't know if they're going to be feeling quite that brave at the moment. The rest, not anywhere near. Yeah, he's going to be buying a Tech 9 instead. Okay, they could try and go for the B-bomb side. I guess if the Tech 9 gets the early kill, it's kind of on. They're going to... Yeah, the smoke goes up, so they're instantly out of there. They don't even want to get close to it. Out the middle instead. I do like the fact that they keep the speed going. Yeah, even if you change your mind, just kind of try and see if you can keep going and apply some pressure. Smoke going up towards CT spawn, but I think they're kind of bleeding. A few too many players here trying to get through. Finally, a couple of kills going their way. If they get the last one on the cuff inside of the bomb site, then they have a chance at it still. Spray through. Oh my god, all right. It's getting a little bit wrecked now.
Yeah, they were there for just a moment. Unfortunately, doesn't pan out. But still giving them a bit of a fright, I suppose, on the Sri Lanka side of things. But yeah, a pretty decent look. All things considered, Nepal will be back in with the bye. Still not perfectly ideal here from them, but they'll be happy to keep it rolling, I would have thought. It's getting close, though. It's getting close. You know, I thought that maybe Nepal had got something in the bag, to be honest. And again, seems to be the case. You hit the double digits. Maybe you keep it going, but they have let it slip ever so slightly here. Another long exchange going to be coming in. 3 players out from the CT side could be pretty deadly. Nades look quite good from them as well, softening them up. Solid hold here. One's maybe slipped the net ever so slightly. It's worked for Woody, but he does manage to bring one down. They need some more here, though. It is, of course, Hellscream who's going to go overlooked, and he gets himself the easy triple. Oh my, Sri Lanka might just be stealing this one away from the jaws of defeat.
Man, what a tough position to be in now. Tied up here, and all of a sudden, Sri Lanka stepping it up just when they need to. Going to be upgrading a bunch of AKs as well on top of everything else, so just puts them in a great position here. And look at the step up now. Hellscream suddenly playing very well. Plasty's up to 18. Like, they've got the whole squad that have come alive here towards the end of the game, and they don't have money on the Nepal side. They are starting to fall behind. They need some bomb plants. They need to win some rounds.
Spam doesn't really find anything. But yeah, we got to have something big in store from Nepal. Ooh, a B move might be the way. Nearly getting the drop on Cuff. Not going to be the case, though. He does get that kill, but yeah, there was maybe, I don't know, if he was like a second later, he could have caught him jumping up, looking away from the B tunnels. Just the way the cookie crumbles on this one, though, Anders, of course. Crum and Z going to spot out little leg. No shot landing off, but it looks good. Sri Lanka are pretty prepared for what is coming. A dangerous swing, but Plasty makes it work.
Still 3 versus 5. Wow. A lot of damage being output here. He's having himself a real good round. Triple kill. Mike making a quad as he's trying to hunt it down. The spray is magnificent. Plasty's really stepping it up. Quad kill for him, putting Sri Lanka at 12-10. So a step in the right direction. Yeah, he's really proven himself in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, looking great. Looking great. And you can just see it on the replays. It looks really, really easy for him, to be fair. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing. And again, this is what we talked about a little bit with Dust 2. You're going to get those individuals popping off. May well be the case. So very, very impressive stuff that Sri Lanka have been able to pull their weight here. And again, as I sort of mentioned coming into it, not an awful lot of recent experience for some of these players. A little bit older as well, right? So maybe a sort of side gig for them, as it were. But they are still making this Counter-Strike look kind of easy in places. Again, especially Plasty coming round. He also opens up into this one before being traded off. But a lot of damage laid down onto the Nepalese players in what could be the final round here.
Yeah, this is starting to look a lot more coherent. 4 versus 4. Real taking a bit of damage. Classic setup with the smoke. You can use that for a bunch of things. I think this time they're going to try and sell it as a potential walkout on the catwalk, and it looks like they want to go back through the middle. They're actually going to find the kill there on Cuff. So it's Real. In spite of being low on health, it's not necessarily a bad kill. Inside of the B-bomb site, Shakers is on his own, so he is... could be in some trouble. Ooh, but they don't go that way. They've kind of changed their minds, I think, a couple of times, and now they want to go for it. Although Hellscream making a little bit of noise, they're going to hear that, and they walk right into the ult. They might have thought that was a hard rotation, but there was one more player left. That's so dangerous. He almost gets himself killed. Hellscream going down. It's just Chrome and Z left here. 2 versus 3, 25 seconds. They get the wallbang spam on him. I don't know. I don't think he needed to jump up like that. I think if he had stayed a little bit further behind on the ramp, he would have been fine.
Yeah, very, very possible. I mean, as well, even in that close position, he had a good couple of opportunities, good couple of shots. They weren't maybe the easiest in the world, don't get me wrong, but certainly could have converted at least one more of them. So a bit of panic getting the best of him, both with the decision-making and the mechanics of the game. So now we're all the way down to the wire. You know, Sri Lanka, it felt like maybe they were starting to hammer that nail in, but anything but. At this point, of course, got plenty of cash to buy up, but Nepal want to keep things competitive here and, of course, take us to the OT, my dude.
That is always an option. Haven't seen, I think, almost any OT so far, so there would be a brand new experience for us here, but why not? I mean, they're fairly well-matched teams at the moment, so we might as well try and get there. See if there's going to be some wild investment if we get into overtime and you get a little bit more money. Sometimes that when you get into like the double orb or, God forbid, the auto sniper, you know, there are lots of options once you get that deep. Well, here we go. Last round of regulation. Number 24, Sri Lanka and Nepal. And I think Nepal's already secured 1 victory today here. Would love a second, I'm sure. Bit of a trade at the beginning. Sri Lanka just need 4 more kills. And they'll be able to stave off that overtime, get rid of it, and celebrate a bit of a victory here. It's a close game. Oh, he does see it out. Woody goes down. Pasti, he's going to be able to be the one that has to do all the work here. He's got 24 kills right now, so... Oh, nice. Lot of damage onto Real in the middle. They're sneaking up long with the bomb, though, and nobody's really looking. Or maybe so. Hellscream might be taking a bit of a look, but you got to be careful if you're a Croman in CT spawn. That's got to be a scary moment.
Shown. Oh, moving up. He's lucky to not be burning here. They've had to put a pause on it. Control looks good. Manpower, not so much. So, taking the bomb site, only half the game, really. And now you can see Shown a little trapped in by these short players. Up jumps the orb, but it kind of scares him a little bit. He's also, maybe feels like he's forced into the peak. That's going to spill the bomb. So, a really awkward situation now for Nepal to get that back. I don't think they quite know it, but, you know, again, getting a bit desperate for the frags. It looks very good here. JDX, fully healthy, but he's not got that bomb plant on his side. Fully panicked to try and pull off the 1v3, and it's Sri Lanka to take it. Nepal coming into things, had a bit of momentum, weren't necessarily a heavy favorite, you know, 2 teams that it's hard to have information on for sure, but it felt like they would be the ones with that momentum that would have a bit of the upper hand, and they very nearly did. That Dust 2, that Plasty performance, I think making a big, big difference to give Sri Lanka the win.
Yeah, it feels unlikely that they were going to be able to win it. I feel like without Plasty, probably it goes the other way. Such a close game, but it works out in the end for them. So yeah, a bit of a surprise, but well played on the Sri Lankan side. I've got to say, really, really good stuff. We've got some highlights for you here. Probably plenty of them, as we did play all 24 rounds. But yeah, overall, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't expecting this just based off the results. I thought it was going to be Nepal to pick it up, but it's turned out quite a different way. So Dust 2, good battleground, good game overall.
Yeah, a really sort of curious approach as well. You know, Sri Lanka just rushing out long for a good 85% of their T-side rounds, and most of the rounds they didn't go long, didn't work. So that's certainly curious that they made that work so well for them. And then a very topsy-turvy second half, you know, very up and down from both teams, but really, really great showing. And as we've mentioned a couple times, Plasti looking absolutely fantastic in and around that sort of A catwalk area. Sometimes out towards long, but he was a bit more of a short player for sure. So very, very impressive. And again, another team to just sort of put a pin in, keep your eye on, individually looking good, maybe indeed in terms of the depth, in terms of the coordination. Some of the retakes that we saw from both sides, to be honest, not all that great. But Sri Lanka, I think in particular, to be honest, Anders, will be kicking themselves. There was like that 4v2 in there, wasn't there, that could have actually won them the game if they managed to convert that in the middle. So yeah, a very sort of interesting couple of teams to keep your eyes on. I think that they look good, but maybe when a team asks a bit more of them, they might struggle.
I mean, I would say in general, right? Like whenever it's this close, there's always probably like 10 different rounds you could look back on and say, man, if only like one more kill here or there, and we at least get into overtime. So that's just kind of the nature of the game. But yeah, good to see again some of the local heroes here that get a chance to kind of show what they're all about. Definitely very interesting. Plasti, I think the one that probably stood out a little bit more, but I think Croman C as well for a longer time there was kind of leading the charge on the Sri Lankan side. So they had a couple of interesting players that really made an impact at the end of it here. It was close, could have just as well at least been overtime, but Nepal will have to fight back another day and see if they can still qualify.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I think hopefully for their case, they'll still be in with a bit of a chance. But it is a rough sort of run here. You know, you got those BO1s. You have to be putting your best foot forwards. And yeah, again, as you talk about, there might be a good number of rounds that can really stay in your mind, and especially on an individual level. So we'll keep checking in and keep understanding, you know, what it is about those teams that sort of make them tick, and whether they do have, you know, that super heavy upper hand. Can we fend off against the likes of India that seem to be sort of the scariest team within that portion of the region? Are the scarier, bigger boys going to come along, you know, the Mongolians and whatnot, and really show you how it's done? It's difficult to say at the end of the day. But yeah, you can see where things are at here with the scoreboard, as it were. I think that, you know, it really does paint a pretty clean picture that, yeah, without Plasti, would have made a big difference. You got shown on the other side, Dealer X looking pretty good. But with Shakers in particular, not quite pulling his weight, those extra 4 or 5 kills from Plasti, that is the game, it feels like.
Yeah, surely it's got to be, right? Like that makes the difference. That pulls them over the edge. So really cool to see, though. Yeah, not much else to really break down. I think at that point, you know, if they get a rematch, it's going to be fun to see. I don't know if any of them are going to be able to take down India. Again, India did look like they had a little bit better understanding of some of the core parts of the game. But I mean, Sri Lanka played to their strength in the terms of, you know, especially on the T side, just kind of not making it complicated, going for what they needed, like out long a lot, and it worked out pretty well for them. So super well played. We are going to go to a break before we get into the next game. So don't go anywhere, and we will be right back.